What's going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we are taking a look at a bunch of awesome and affordable knives that'll fit right into your rotation. While we're getting started, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. So the first knife we're kicking this list off with is the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga in its upgraded form. We are looking at 3 inches of 14C 28N steel. We have coated and uncoated variations of this knife. Fuller and front flipper for deployment. The detent is nice and snappy. You can access that fuller on both sides, and you do have a really well done front flipper here. We are looking at raindrop carbon fiber for our handle material over steel liners. We have a G10 backspacer with a hidden lanyard post and a deep carry clip that is going to be reversible for lefties out there, and it is recessed behind the scale here, which is going to be very easy in and out of the pocket and going to carry nice and deep. This is just a solid offering from Petrified Fish. They come in right around the $77 price point, and that is going to be one of the most expensive knives on this list. The next knife we are taking a look at is a newer offering coming in from Real Steel. This is called the Griffin Pro, and this is a Carson design, and I have been very happy with the Carson designs that Real Steel has done. Carson also did the Real Steel Evolution, which is a fantastic Real Steel knife, and this is his newest design with Real Steel. We are looking at 3.5 inches of 14C 28N steel, nice stone wash drop point blade, great sharpening choil. We are looking at a cutout here for deployment. We have a button lock, plunge lock for our locking mechanism. We do have a secondary lock here, which is on a detent system and is going to actually work well. You cannot push that button in even the slightest when it's enacted. So it's going to be a solid secondary lock. A lot of them are gimmicky, but in this case, it is in between the scale and the actual liner itself and sliding up behind that button, which is going to give you a solid lockup. We are looking at some blue jean micarta. There are several different variations of this knife here, and we are looking at a right hand carry only steel pocket clip here. Very comfortable. This is a great size, and they come in right around 3.5 ounces, which is going to make this a very lightweight knife. Coming in right around $66, I think this is a fantastic option for a next EDC. Next up, we're taking a look at the Molsect Coastline, and if you're not familiar with them, they are a newer company that just kind of arrived on the scene and started putting out some very solid options. This is going to come in right around $50 depending on where and when you get this, and I will try to have links to all these knives and a couple of different places for each of these knives if there is multiple options. That way you can kind of find the best price point. They'll all be linked down in the description. Now the Coastline here comes in around $50, and for that we're looking at 3.4 inches of 14C 28N steel. This is a coated PVD drop point blade. Little bit of jimping here on the spine, decent little sharpening choil there, and we are looking at a flipper tab for deployment. G10 handles with texturing and sculpting over top of steel liners, and we do have a deep carry pocket clip here that is recessed. It's going to be right hand carry only. Do have good access there to the liner with some jimping. This would make a solid little EDC knife for that $50 price point. Next up, this is a knife that I just can't get enough of. I've been carrying this knife a ton. This is coming in from Trivisa, and this is called the Array, right around $52 to $53. And for that, we are looking at 3.3 inches of 14C 28N. Nice drop point blade. Love this top swedge. Stonewash finish, takes wear very good. Nice choil here. We are looking at dual thumb studs for deployment. Some really, really nice micarta for our handle material, and they do come in several different micarta variations. And we do have a lower mounted deep carry clip, and it is going to be reversible. They include a filler tab here, and this is going to be a backlock, which I really like. There aren't a ton of backlocks coming out these days, and for them to put out a backlock like this, you can just whack this blade open. It feels so good to throw this thing open, and you have that very strong backlock backing you up when you are going to get into some denser material. This thing is very comfortable as well. Because of that backlock, you have that full length backspacer and backlock combination. It's just going to add to the comfort of this knife. The way the clip is done, you don't feel it in hand, or at least in my hand, I don't. If you want to enjoy a backlock that you can really throw open, this is going to be a great one at that $50 to $53 price point. And I got to talk about this knife here. This is coming in from Sativian. This is the ST995, and possibly one of the best deals that you can find in the knife market right now. These come in at $79.99 usually, but right now they're also offering a 10%. So this knife is going to be under $80. And for that, we are looking at M390 on this drop point blade. It's got this polished finish to the blade, kind of a satin polish finish, machine satin, if you will. We're looking at a little fuller and a rear flipper for the deployment, a nice snappy action, and you can use that fuller on both sides. We're looking at a titanium handle with marble carbon fiber inlays, and we have a titanium clip here with a titanium backspacer, and we have a hidden lanyard post. Just a very casual EDC knife, but you're getting a lot of bang for your dollar. My only knock on this knife was the access to the liner. It's not horrendous, but it could be better, but I can still get in there. It's something I can do without thinking about it, but it could be better. But I'm willing to kind of let that slide because of the price point of these knives coming in around $80 and getting the titanium, the carbon fiber, the M390. That is a fantastic deal. They're running the M390 59 to 60. Not the best, but if you want those kinds of materials and you're looking to not spend a ton of money, this would be a good option. Next up, we are taking a look at the AM8 knives Gladiator, and AM8 is a sister company to Miguron, two awesome companies that produce a lot of good knives, whether it's budget or more premium. This one's going to fall in that budget category though, and you're going to get a lot for your money here. These come in under $50 full retail, and for that we are looking at 3 3/4 inches of 14C28N steel. We have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper tab for deployment. The studs are done and placed well. The flipper tab is designed and jimped well. We are also looking at a nice full choil there so you can choke up. This is just a beast of a knife right here. We have black micarta over top of steel liners that do have some internal milling for weight relief. Great access to the liner, and there is a nice chamfer on there. Solid detent and very nice closing action as well. We are looking at a deep carry right hand only pocket clip that is recessed along with the screws, and there is a ton of room in there to get this in and out of your pants pocket, and this clip is designed really, really well. We also have a G10 backspacer back there, and this thing is just an absolute monster for under $50. Next up, this is a knife that I think got overlooked, and it does happen when it comes to Kaiser, but the Kaiser shot here, these come in right around $65 to $66, and this is an awesome little gent knife right here. We are looking at 154 cm, about 3 inches of 154. Nice little sharpening choil here, pokey, stabby blade, dual thumb studs, and a front flipper for deployment here. Nice snappy Kaiser action. And then we are looking at copper. And then they also have at least one other variation of this knife. Just a great little gent carry, kind of a secondary carry, if you will. It is going to be a deep carry, right hand only pocket clip. It is surface mounted, but the screws are recessed, and that's going to give you a nice deal of room in there to get this in and out of the pocket. Great access to the liner there, and look at that. Just that light, thin blade is still going to basically fall all the way closed when you disengage this thing. Just a testament to how well Kaiser has their action department nailed down. Dual thumb studs, front flipper, great little gent knife coming in there right around that $66 price point. Next up, we have one coming from Lothar, and they have really stepped up their game over the last couple of months and really bumped up what they're doing and their fit and finish. The Lothar Spider here really was that turning point for me. They've put out a couple of really good ones since this here, but we are looking at $52 for the Spider, and for that, you're going to get 3 inches of 14C28N, nice drop point style blade, PVD coating. We are looking at dual thumb studs for the deployment. This is going to be a button plunge lock for our locking mechanism, and it is done very well. You can get a nice wind up on those studs, and those studs are done well. They have a double step with a recess behind there, and they're just really comfortable, easy to get to. Nice little sharpening choil there, and we are looking at textured aluminum over top of a steel frame there. And we have a G10 backspacer with a deep carry clip that is recessed. It's going to be reversible for lefties out there, making this an almost fully ambidextrous knife. But coming in right around $52, I think this would make a great gent knife as well. And right now, Fintizo is running a ton of sales. And if you're looking to get a new knife or get your first knife or just kind of upgrade what you already have, they would be a good company to take a look at. They have some things that they need to work on a little bit, but this knife right now is coming in at $37, which is freaking insane. I've had a couple of these parrots. This is the Fintizo Parrot. For that, we're looking at 3 inches of 14C28N. Nice machine satin finish there on that sheepsplit, modified sheepsplit blade. We have dual thumb studs that are done very well, just a single step on that stud. My main critique of this knife is the sharpening choil there could be a little bit better. We are looking at a button plunge lock and double stacked G10. They also offer this in aluminum, and I believe if they are still in stock, the aluminum versions are down around the same $37, $38 price point over top of steel liners here, and they do have some weight relief in there. We are looking at a deep carry reversible pocket clip, and it is recessed. That is a steel clip, and it is done pretty well. I like the look, the design of it, and it works really well in the hand, and that is a big deal to me. We have open construction here with a couple of standoffs. The plunge lock on this is done really well. You get a nice, satisfying opening action, good ergos, and at $37, that is going to be very hard to beat. And if you're looking for a little backup, fifth pocket knife, secondary type knife, I would certainly take a look at the Olatin's G57 here. This is a little newer offering from them. These come in right around $45, and for that, we are looking at 2.4 inches of 14C28N on that modified sheep split blade. We are looking at dual thumb studs and a front flipper for deployment. And let me tell you what, for the size of this blade and how light it is, This thing has a beautiful detent. I mean, it rockets out of that handle. They have a bunch of different colors and schemes that you can get, at least 6 different ones that I can remember seeing. This is a PVD coated variant with yellow G10. We have a matching backspacer with a hidden lanyard post, and we are looking at a really, really nice deep carry pocket clip that is recessed along with those screws. It is going to be right hand carry only, however. Great access to that liner, good solid lockup. Front flipper is done equally well, and we have a couple sets of jimping up on the spine. This would make a great, and I mean great, secondary or fifth pocket knife and a great utility slicer. Next up, we're taking a look at the CJRB Maximal, and this knife has had a weird reception since it's dropped. It is a David C. Anderson design. He is the face of Knife Center's YouTube channel, and he has designed a couple of fixed blades in the past. This is his first attempt at a folder, and he basically designed a knife that anyone could pick up as far as price point, as well as a knife that anyone could pick up and carry, whether you're young, old, male, female. And that was the idea, I believe, behind this knife. And I think, as far as that is concerned, I think that is done really well. And I think this does fit a lot of people. It's a good size. We're looking at 3 inches of RPM 9, stonewash finish, drop point blade, just a very casual blade shape. Nice sharpening choil here. All the things that need to be done right are done right because he is a knife guy through and through. We are looking at really well done thumb studs. They have a triple stepping on them. They're placed well, comfortable. The crossbar lock that CJRB does is really, really good. We have micarta here over top of recessed steel liners, open construction with a couple of standoffs. And then we have a deep carry clip that is surface mounted, but the screws are recessed, and that's going to give you plenty of room in and out of the pocket. It is also going to be left-hand friendly, making this a completely ambidextrous knife, and there are several different variations that you can pick up. They have micarta here and G10, and I believe there are a couple of other variations as well. Right now, these are coming in at $66, but there's a 25% off coupon code, so these are going to be well under $60. Next up, we're taking a one that got lost, I believe, in all the knives that just come out throughout the year. The Civivi Bull Tusk here, there's a couple different variations of this knife, and they're all going to come in right around that $65 price point. And this is one of their best price knives, in my opinion. It's not the best, but it is up there with what you're getting at 65 bucks. We're looking at 3.5 inches of 14C28N. Like I said, there's a couple different variations. We have this beautiful modified harpoon sheep's foot style blade. I mean, hell, you could call it a drop point if you want, a modified drop point. All kinds of stuff going on. We have this nice tall primary that goes into a flat and then a top swedge, but that dies off at the last quarter of the blade. It just gives it a very unique characteristic. Nice little choil area here. We do have jimping up the spine of that ramp there. We have micarta. In this case, it is a purple micarta, and I have enjoyed this knife ever since I bought it. We have great access to the liner here. We are looking at a cutout and a rear flipper tab for the deployment. And in this case, we've talked about this recently. This is one of the few exceptions where a slanted downward flipper tab actually works. And in this case, with the proper jimping, the proper detent, it is going to work very, very well. But I would say for most people, this is going to be a reverse flicker or a thumb flicker. And in that case, It works really well. We do have steel liners, a couple of standoffs, and we have a lanyard post back here, a deep carry clip that is done really well. It is recessed and it is going to be reversible for lefties out there. This is just an absolute beast of a knife for 65 bucks. Love the bull tusk. It's one of my favorite knives that Civivi has done over the last year or two. Now, this next one is one of my favorites on this entire list, and it's been one of my favorite knives that have come out over the last couple of months in regards to a budget knife. This is the newer Tenable Cryo, and the Cryo is not a new knife. It is a Kim Ning design, and it's been through several different transformations, and this is the newest one here, and I absolutely love this drop point blade coming in 14C 28N, about 3.6 inches of 14C, and this price point is going to range from about 49 up to 56 bucks, depending on the variant that you get. They have micarta G10, and I believe there's actually maybe an aluminum as well. I will have what I can link down below. I know that a couple of them are out of stock. This has been severely popular for Tenable very early on. Great sharpening choil, really nice oversized thumb studs for the deployment. Their crossbar lock is really well done here, and the micarta is some nice fuzzy, good looking stuff, going to provide some nice grip, especially when your hand is getting sweaty or wet or what have you, over top of some nice thick steel liners. We do have a deep carry clip. It is going to be reversible for our left-handed brothers and sisters out there, and this thing is a great size, an absolute powerhouse coming in at that $56 mark. That'll wrap this one up, guys. You'll have to let me know what was your favorite knife from today's video, and let me know if you have a favorite recent pickup that you have gotten. Love hearing from you guys, no matter what it is. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Always appreciate that. Make sure to check down below for links to all of these knives, and there will be several links to some of these knives. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy this type of content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.